Good morning children, how are you all? Hope you all are doing good. So in the last class we have completed the lesson, the Northern Mountains, is it? So in this class we are going to start the new lesson, it is the Northern Plains, okay? So in this class we are going to talk about the Northern Plains. So these Northern Plains which are at the bottom or below Northern Mountains. So these Northern Plains are below, at the bottom of the Northern Mountains, okay? And these Northern Plains are located at the south of the Himalayas. For example, if it is the Himalayas like this, these Northern Plains are located at the south of the Himalayas. And these Northern Plains are very vast, very fertile, okay? And many people, many thousands of people live in this Northern Plains. And in this lesson, we are going to learn the importance of Northern Plains. What is the importance of Northern Plains? And we are going to also learn about the three important basins. So which are the three important basins? The Satluj Basin, the Ganga Basin, the Brahmaputra Basins. Okay. So before that, we will learn about the Northern Plains. Okay. So these Northern Plains extends from Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. Okay. So these Northern Plains, it extends from Punjab. Okay. From Punjab in west and Assam in east. Okay, Assam in east. So these Northern Plains, it extends from Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. So these Northern Plains are flat level land. Okay, these plains are flat level land and these regions are very fertile. Okay, these plains are very fertile and it is very rich in to grow crops. So why these regions are very fertile? Because most of the rivers, okay, which originate from the Himalayas flow through these plains. Okay, the most of the rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Indus. So most of the rivers which originate from Himalayas flow through these regions, and we all know that those rivers are perennial rivers. Okay, we call it as perennial rivers, in which there will be water throughout the year, as these rivers originate from the glaciers moving down from the Himalayas, is it? So these rivers originate from the glaciers in the Himalayas, so there will be water throughout the year. So these rivers flow in these Northern Plains. So the rivers which originate from Himalayas flow through these regions and the lands will be fertile. Okay, so these rivers bring along with them, okay, the rich soil. Okay, these rivers bring along with them the rich soil called silt. Okay, silt or alluvium. Silt or alluvium. The rivers along with them carry, okay, they bring rich soil called silt or alluvium. So these plains are very fertile, okay, and it is very good for the growth of crops. Okay, and this Northern Plains, okay, this Northern Plains are one of the most fertile regions in the world. These it makes, so these rivers, these fertile land makes this Northern Plains one of the most fertile land, okay, fertile region in the world. Northern Plains are one of the most fertile region in the world, and it is also called as food bowl of India. Okay, Northern Plains are called as food bowl of India because it is always fertile. So Northern Plains are also called as food bowl of India. Okay, so these rivers make this Northern Plains one of the rich, okay, one of the most fertile land variety of crops here. In these plains we can grow variety of crops because the region is very fertile. We have good soil there. So we can grow rich, it is rich in minerals, okay, because of these rivers, okay, because of the rivers which flow in these regions, because these rivers are perennial rivers which we have water throughout the year, okay, because these rivers originate from Himalaya, so there will be water throughout the year, okay. So northern plains is also called as the food bowl of India, okay. So these rivers make the northern plains one of the most fertile region in the world, okay, fertile region in the world, and it is also called as food bowl of India, okay. And several small rivers join the main rivers, okay, and it is called as, these small rivers is called as tributaries, okay. Several small rivers, we have many small rivers also which originate from the Himalayas. So these rivers join the main rivers like Ganga, okay. So these rivers join the main rivers and these small rivers are called as tributaries, okay. So what is and tributaries? So next we, as I told you before, we have 3 river basins in this region, okay. We have 3 river basins in this region. So first I will talk about what are basins. So what are basins? The area watered by the river and its tributaries. So as I told you before, what is tributaries? The small rivers which join the main river is called as tributaries, okay. So what are basins? The area watered by the river and its tributaries are called basin, okay. So the area watered by the river and its tributaries are called basin. So we have 3 important basins in this plain. So which are they? One is the Satluj basin, the second is the Ganga basin, and the third is the Brahmaputra basin, okay. I'll repeat once again. The 3 important basins of this region are the first Satluj basin, the second Ganga basin, and the third is the Brahmaputra basin. So we will go to talk about these 3 basins in detail one by one, okay. So first we will talk about the Satluj basin. So this river Satluj and its tributaries flow towards southwest through Punjab, okay. The Satluj and its tributaries, it flow towards southwest through Punjab. Then they enter into Pakistan to join river Indus, okay. So this Satluj and its tributaries flow through southwest through Punjab and then they enter into Pakistan, okay. Then they enter into Pakistan to join the river Indus. Later from there, the Indus finally flows to the Arabian Sea, okay. So if from here it goes to the southwest and then it joins to Pakistan, it enters Pakistan and to join river Indus. So finally the river Indus joins, okay, it flows to the Arabian Sea which is towards the west side, okay. So Satluj and its tributaries flows towards the southwards through Punjab, and later it enters Pakistan to join Indus, okay, to join the river Indus. The Indus finally flows to the Arabian Sea, okay. So Punjab and Haryana lie in the Satluj basin. So which are the states? Punjab and Haryana. So Punjab and Haryana lies in the Satluj basin. So the Satluj river and its tributaries flow through southwest, okay, flow in southwest through Punjab. It flows through Punjab and then enters Pakistan very little rainfall. So this Satluj basin, this region gets very little rainfall, and the climate is hot in summer and it is very cold in winter. With the construction of Bakra Nangal Dam, okay, the irrigation facility is provided by the construction of Bakra Nangal Dam, irrigation and electricity purpose. Okay, so the main crops grown here are rice, millets like bajra, jowar, ragi, and cotton and sugarcane are grown with the help of irrigation. Okay, so here there is no much rainfall, and with the construction of Bakra Nangal Dam. Okay, Bakra Nangal Dam on river Satluj. Bakra Nangal Dam on river Satluj is being constructed for the irrigation purpose, and the main crops grown here are wheat, rice, pulses, millets like jowar, bajra, ragi, cotton and sugarcane are grown in this region. So this was about Satluj basin. Okay. So next we'll move on to the Ganga basin. Ganga basin. So Ganga is the sacred river of the Hindus. Is it? No. So Ganga is the sacred river of Hindus, and this Ganga river originates from Gangotri. Okay, so where does this Ganga river originate? It is from Gangotri. Okay, and the last class I told it is originates from the Gangotri glacier. Okay, so this Ganga river originates from Gangotri. Okay, and it has its source from Gangotri. This river enters the northern plain through Haridwar. Okay, so this Ganga basin, okay, this Ganga river enters the northern plain, it enters from the Himalayas to the northern plains through the place Haridwar. Okay, so it enters the northern plains through Haridwar. As it flows, there are many small rivers which join this Ganga river. Okay, as I told you before, many small rivers joins main rivers, and these small rivers are called as tributaries. So likewise, many small rivers join Ganga river. Okay, and one of the tributaries is called as Yamuna. So Yamuna is one of the tributary of Ganga river. Okay, Yamuna is one of the tributary, one of the small river which joins Ganga river. Okay, so Yamuna is one of the tributary of Ganga. So this Yamuna joins Ganga at the place called Allahabad. Okay, so Yamuna joins Ganga. Yamuna river joins Ganga at a place called Allahabad, and this meeting point is called as Sangama. Okay, so the place where Yamuna joins Ganga, this meeting point is called as Sangama. Okay, so Sangama, and these small tributaries are one of the tributary. So Yamuna river is one of the tributary. Not only Yamuna, many small rivers joins Ganga. So Yamuna is one of the tributary of Ganga river, and this Yamuna joins Ganga at the place called Allahabad. Okay, so this Yamuna river joins Ganga at the place called Allahabad, and this meeting point where this Yamuna and Ganga join, we call it as Sangama. Okay, the place where these both rivers joins, Yamuna and Ganga, this place is called as Sangama. Okay, Sangama, S-A-N-G-A-M-A. The meeting point of these where the Yamuna joins river Ganga, we call it as Sangama. So the Ganga along with its tributaries flow through the northern plains. So the Ganga along with its tributaries, along with its small rivers, okay, flow through the northern plains. So we have many important towns situated along the river. water available in this region. Okay, and the soil is good. Okay, there is fertile land. So we have many towns and cities situated along. Okay, situated along this Ganga river and this land, because the land is very fertile and we can grow variety of crops here. Okay, the Ganga flows through Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. Okay, so the Ganga river flows through, it comes through Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. In West Bengal, the main river splits into two main branches. So when it reaches West Bengal, when the Ganga river reaches by flowing through these places, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and finally when it reaches West Bengal, this main river splits into two branches. Okay, splits into two branches. One branch enters Bangladesh and is called the Padma. Okay, so this main river when it reaches West Bengal, it splits into two branches, and one branch which enters Bangladesh, it is called as Padma. Okay, Padma river. When it enters Bangladesh, it splits into two, and one which enters Bangladesh, it is called as Padma. It joins the Brahmaputra. Okay, then later on it joins the Brahmaputra. In India, it is called the Hooghly river. Okay, in India, it is called the Hooghly. It is the most important branch of the Ganga. Okay, it is Brahmaputra. As I told you before, when it reaches the Ganga, when it reaches West Bengal, it is split into two, and one which enters, one which enters Bangladesh, it is called as Padma. Okay, one which enters Bangladesh, it is called as Padma, and it joins Brahmaputra. It joins the Brahmaputra. In India, it is called the Hooghly. Okay, in India, it is called the Hooghly. It is the most important branch of Ganga. So, Hooghly, it is the most important branch of Ganga. Kolkata is situated on the bank of Hooghly river. Okay, so Kolkata is the city which is situated on the bank of river Hooghly. In India, we call this as Hooghly, and Kolkata is the city which is situated on the bank of river Hooghly. So this was about Ganga basin. Okay, so next we'll move on to the Brahmaputra basin. Brahmaputra, this originates in Tibet. Okay, so this Brahmaputra originates in Tibet, where it is called the Sangpo. Okay, so this Brahmaputra river, it originates from Tibet, and it is in Tibet, it is called as Sangpo. It enters India through Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so this Brahmaputra enters India through Arunachal Pradesh. Later and flows through Assam before entering Bangladesh. Okay, so this Brahmaputra river it originates from Tibet and it enters India through Arunachal Pradesh and later flows through Assam before entering Bangladesh. The Brahmaputra and the Ganga forms the largest delta in the world. Okay, so largest delta. So what is this delta? Delta means it is nothing but these main river again splitting into very small rivers or channels. So this is called as delta. Okay, delta is nothing but the main river. It is splitting into small rivers. Okay, splitting into small rivers called delta. Again, it splits into small river streams or channels, which is called as delta. So the Brahmaputra and Ganga forms the largest delta in the world before falling into Bay of Bengal. Okay, so first the Brahmaputra originates in the Tibet, and in Tibet it is called as Sangpo. flows through Assam before entering into Bangladesh. Okay, before entering into Bangladesh. So the Brahmaputra and the Ganga forms the most largest delta. So delta is nothing but the main rivers again splitting into small river streams or channels. Okay, then later on these rivers fall into Bay of Bengal, joins the Bay of Bengal Sea. Okay, so this is called as Sundarban Delta, the Brahmaputra and the Ganga, which forms the largest delta in the world, and it is called as Sundarban Delta. The Brahmaputra flows through hilly areas, okay, hilly areas, and even these rivers bring rich soil along with them, alluvial soil which is fertile, okay, and these lands are very good fertile land which is good for growth of crops. Okay, so this soil is extremely fertile and helps in the growth of jute and rice. Okay, it is very good to grow jute and rice. Tea is also very important crop of the area. So in Assam we grow more tea plantations, is it? So this Brahmaputra and the Ganga form the largest delta, okay, largest delta, and later on it falls into Bay of Bengal. So this delta we call it as Sundarban Delta, and this Brahmaputra river carry along with them rich fertile soil along with them. So the areas are very good fertile, okay, fertile land which we can grow crops like jute and rice, okay, jute and rice, and tea plantations are most grown in this area. So this was about the Satluj, the Ganga basin and the Brahmaputra basin. So these are the three river basins, three important river basins of northern plains. Okay children, so in the next class we will learn about the people of northern plains, the importance of this region, and the pollution of river water, how these rivers have been polluted. Okay, so now I am going to end the session now. In the next session I am going to continue with the lesson. Okay children.